Welcome back to English 4.0, the radio show. Let's go! Intermediate. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Intermediate class number 185. That means that after this, we've got 10 more to go. And I'm here to celebrate this special milestone episode with Esther. How are you, Esther?
I'm very well, thank you, Kyle. How are you?
Great. I'm doing great. It's good to have you back again.
Thank you very much.
Esther's been joining me for the late. She's been joining me lately for both the intermediate and advanced portions of the class. But Esther, it's impressive because you started off. I've said this a couple times, but you started off on the beginner stuff on TV, the beginner level, and now she's handling with relative ease.
Yes.
the even the advanced material, right?
Yes.
So good job. But here we are in the intermediate portion, and taking a look at yesterday's material. Do you remember the structure we saw that's equivalent to why?
Why? How come?
Yeah, how come? So I'll give you a question with why, and you can give me the equivalent sentence with how come. Now at home, en voz alta, right?
Yes.
Out loud. I need to hear that. We need the same one, right?
Okay.
So that means everyone, even you. Let's see, Pedro, who's a regular listener. Pedro, en voz alta. Okay. All right. I'm sure he will. Yes. He always does. Why did the Beatles break up?
How come the Beatles break up? How come the Beatles broke up?
Yeah. How come? So there's no auxiliary, so how come they broke? We have to change to the past.
Yes, it's true.
How come the Beatles broke up? Well, I think Yoko Ono had something to do with it.
Yes, we all think the same.
Right? I think so. All right. So why is English pronunciation so difficult sometimes?
How come is English pronunciation?
How come?
How come English pronunciation? Yes, that's true. How come English pronunciation is sometimes so difficult?
Yeah, it's difficult sometimes, or sometimes difficult. How come?
How come?
Well, what do you think?
I don't know. Maybe you can tell me how come.
Well,
well, I think there is an explanation about it, and it refers to the Middle Ages. Well, not exactly, but I think it's because the monks started to write the books, and they were the only people that know how to write. That knew how to write. So they were inside the monasteries.
Yeah.
But the people outside continue speaking and changing the pronunciation, changing the language. But the monks, as they lived inside the monasteries,
they didn't adapt.
Yes, they didn't do that, and they keep writing as they knew it.
They kept writing that way. Okay.
Yes, it's one of the explanations that I know.
Yeah. But it's funny, people find things difficult just because they're different.
Yes, it's true.
And that's an interesting thing, I think, because there are the things that I find difficult in Spanish, I find something very difficult, and I've found it difficult for 5 years, and then I'll see a 2-year-old who does it perfect.
Yeah.
Subjunctive, for example, or whatever,
And the difference between the verbs estar y ser.
Yeah, ser and estar. And for me, that's phenomenally difficult.
Yeah.
And there are all these exceptions, and it's tricky, and we try to memorize all these rules and exceptions and cases, but in the end, it's just, if you're used to it, like for me, pronunciation, well, the word is that way, porque sí, ya está.
Yes.
And if you learn to... It's also how we learn to learn. In Spanish, you learn systematically in that la A es la A.
Yes.
Ya está. Yes. That's it. But in English, you have to realize, well, that's the letter A, but it could be pronounced any number of ways depending on the word. So you have to learn the words and not just the collection of sounds that we must, pronounce according to the letters that are there.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's necessarily very, very difficult, but it's just different, and you have to learn. When you learn a word, you have to learn the pronunciation.
Yes, that's right.
So you can't just learn manzana is apple as the way you see it written. You have to learn that manzana is apple, and it's apple, and that's the sound that word makes. You have to learn that. Similarly, we have to learn as non-native Spanish speakers, we have to learn the gender.
Yes.
Which is very difficult for me.
Yes, because you don't have gender.
Yeah, gender, yeah.
Gender.
So masculine, feminine for objects, Ordenador, el ordenador. Why not la ordenador? I don't know.
No, la lámpara, el ordenador.
Exactly. So so that's something that it's kind of like pronunciation, in that we have to memorize it. In addition to the word, you have to memorize that thing. And for everything, there's a gender in Spanish. Every single object you can find, there's a gender. It's either masculine or feminine.
Yes.
So if you think pronunciation's hard, well, okay, it is. But also we have these challenges, so it's the same sort of thing. And you say, oh, well, but gender, but that's very easy. And well, it is for you.
Yes, it's true.
Just like pronunciation is easy for me, because it's just you learn the words, you learn the pronunciation.
Mm-hmm.
How come? All right, if we don't move on now, we're going to be late.
Yes.
We're going to run out of time, so let's move on to take a quick look at just. I know we just saw this in the last class, but we're talking about the other use of just, as in solo. Just where it can be substituted with only, right? I only ate one sandwich. I just ate one sandwich. I wasn't very hungry, so I just ate one.
Yeah.
Right? She only tried one of the methods.
He just tried one of the methods.
Yeah. I said she, but okay.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. I only ate breakfast today. I didn't have lunch, didn't have dinner.
I just had breakfast today.
Okay, yeah. I brought enough clothes for 3 days.
Enough?
Enough clothes for 3 days. No more.
I just brought enough clothes for 3 days.
For 3 days, yeah. I just brought enough clothes for 3 days. Now we have to stay for a week. What am I going to do?
Good question.
I just brought enough clothes for 3 days.
Yes.
Yeah. My brother's kind of my brother's kind of famous on my programs because I always talk about him and the crazy things he does. Like he has his policy on shoes, one pair of feet, one pair of shoes. It's the same with clothes. He recently went to Canada, and my mother asked him to bring something that he had to bring it for my mother, and he got really upset because he had to check a piece of luggage. Like to check luggage.
Yes.
And he says, I haven't checked a piece of luggage for 8 years. My brother flies. he flies all the time, about once a month. But he never checks luggage.
Yes.
He goes to Canada for about a week or 10 days at Christmas time without checking a piece of luggage. Just a carry-on bag.
Yes.
So he has, 2 shirts, 2 pairs of pants, no problem.
No problem.
Some socks. So he'll be there after 1 day. He has to do laundry.
Yes. Yes.
But he says, I don't like checking a bag. I don't like waiting around at the airport for my bag.
Yes, it's true.
But I say, well, okay, it's a few minutes of waiting, but then you have things to wear and to use, Anyway, he doesn't like to check luggage. And then also in the wintertime, he says, Kyle, you bring all this luggage. Why do you bring so much? He criticizes me, and then 2 hours later, he'll say, Kyle, can I borrow a sweater? Can I borrow your jacket? And so I end up, right? Resulto, I end up lending him my jacket. He comes to visit me in Madrid. He wears all my clothes while he's here. He does. And then he says, oh, you don't have to check luggage. Look at me. I don't check anything. Yeah.
Yes.
He doesn't check it in, But he borrows all of mine.
Yes, all the time.
So if we both traveled somewhere and both of us followed his policy, and didn't check any luggage, we wouldn't have anything to wear, right?
Yes.
Anyway, so the just. There we go. I just brought enough for one day. I just brought enough clothes for 3 days, let's say. All right, Esther, let's move on and take a look at our word of the day. Word of the day. Okay, the word of the day today is permitirse el lujo de.
To afford?
To afford. To afford. Can you afford a Rolls Royce?
No, I can't.
No, me neither. I can't
No.
I can't. Can you give me the full sentence?
I can't afford to buy a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, I can't afford to buy a Rolls Royce. I can't afford a Rolls Royce.
No.
We often think of this as money, but it can also permitirse el lujo de. Can you afford to drink a bottle of whiskey every morning with your breakfast?
No.
Even if it's free, I'll give you. Someone gives you the bottle. It's not money, but can you afford to do that?
No, I can't afford to drink a bottle of whiskey every day at breakfast.
Yeah, it would just be a terrible idea.
Yes.
It would be terrible.
It's not healthy.
No, it's not healthy at all. I'm not suggesting anybody does that because it's a terrible idea. Very unhealthy. Yeah, so I can't afford. Yeah, I can't afford to call my boss an idiot. If I called him an idiot, if I said to my boss, I can't afford to do that, I'd get fired.
You shouldn't do that.
No, and I won't.
No.
And I won't. He's not, because he's not.
Yes, I was thinking about that.
But of course he's not. But no, the for the example, I can't afford to do that.
No.
It would be a big mistake.
Yes.
It would be a terrible mistake. So it's not only with money that we use to afford, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now we have another structure here, Esther, which is desde cuándo. Desde cuándo.
Desde cuándo.
Now, for you at home, how do you say that at home? I know I'm directing most things towards Esther today, but I'm not ignoring our thousands of friendly listeners at home.
Yes.
In the car, in the kitchen, wherever you may be. Desde cuándo?
Desde cuándo, no?
Since when?
Since when? Okay. That's easy.
Since when have you known me? Since when have you known me, Esther?
I think I know you since...
I've known you.
I've known you since last summer.
Yep. You've known me since the day we met.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, desde que conocimos, right?
Yes.
Te conozco desde que conocimos.
Desde que nos conocimos.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's right. Mm-hmm. Since when have you been studying this course? Since the 5th of October, I suppose, right?
Yes. I've been studying this course since the 5th of October.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Since when have you been studying English?
I've been studying English since... I don't remember. Since 1989.
Okay, all right. So now, let me give you the answer so you can ask me the since when question, all right? I've been living in my house since 2005.
Since when have you been living in your house?
Right. So at home, remember, since when have you been living in your house? Yeah, since 2005. Mm-hmm. I've been sitting in this chair since 5 o'clock.
Since when have you been sitting in this chair?
Okay. This is a genuine question for you. Since when have you been listening to Vaughan Radio, Esther?
Oof. I've been listening to Vaughan Radio since 2005.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Nice. A lot of things have changed since then, I suppose.
Yes, a lot of things have changed since then.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yes.
Good, yeah. Things are constantly evolving, which is good, I think.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Very good. All right, so since when? Desde cuándo? Since when have you... So this is going to have to go with present perfect. Since when have you been living in your house? I have been... Since when? Desde cuándo? Mm-hmm. I've been doing it since followed by... And since is always followed by a moment. Right? Since is followed by a moment.
By a moment, yeah.
A moment, right? Since Friday.
Mm-hmm.
We've been... This course has been going since the 5th of October.
Yeah.
Since then. Since a moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been teaching. Well, this program has been on the radio since the 5th of October.
Yes.
As well. You've been coming to the radio since then as well. You've been coming to the radio since before then, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's move on and take a look at our vocabulary, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
All right, let's do it. Vocabulary of the day. Okay, it's time for our vocabulary of the day. Our first word of vocabulary today, truco or trampa. Truco, trampa.
Trick?
Trick. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Trick. You know, on Halloween, are you familiar with Halloween?
Yes.
You know what the kids say?
Yes.
What do they say?
Dicen truco. Ay, ¿cómo es?
Well, in Spanish, I don't know. It would be like un capricho or something. A treat.
A treat, yes.
Trick. But in English, they say trick or treat.
Trick or treat.
Now, it would be more logical to say treat or trick.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're basically the child is saying, give me some candy or else.
Or else.
Or I'm going to do something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever, some mischievous thing that kid thinks he's going to do, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But trampa, truco, trick. Advertencia.
Advice? No, advertisement. No.
Yeah, or a warning.
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 Yes, warning.
Juventud.
Youth.
Youth. A corto plazo.
Short term.
Short term or short range as well.
Short range.
Short
okay.
range, yeah. Seguridad social.
Of? No idea.
Social?
Social?
Seguridad?
Security.
There it is.
Oh.
Repeat, please.
Social security.
Social security. Good. Social security. All right. I want to move on quickly. We have one more thing to do, and it's kind of fun, Esther. It's quite nice. These are some expressions. Tan, X, como, as. So, as dry as a bone.
As dry as a bone.
This is what we say in English. If something is very dry, we say it's as dry as a bone. Oh, that steak was good, but it was as dry as a bone.
Yes.
As deaf as a post.
I don't know what.
Post that? Like a piece of wood stuck in the ground. As deaf.
As deaf. Okay.
Yeah. As dry as a bone. We say as clean as a whistle.
A whistle.
Clean the table here, and it's as clean as un silbato.
Mm-hmm.
Whistle.
As clean as a whistle.
Whistle.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Do you understand? Like you know what a whistle is?
Yes.
Silbato, silva.
Yes. Silbato.
Silbato. Yeah. As clean as a whistle, we say. As clean as a whistle. We say something is. Let's see. If something is very easy, you can say it's as easy as pie.
Como un pastel?
Yeah. It's as easy as pie.
Okay.
Is English as easy as pie?
Well, not exactly.
Not exactly. But if you study, it becomes easier.
Yes, it's true.
It gets easier and easier, which is nice, right? Well, there we go with some expressions. I'll take a look at these in the next class to review because we're all out of time. But I want to thank you, as always, for joining me, Esther. It's been a pleasure today, as in all the classes that you've come along for, as you've joined me with. It's been great. So thank you so much for that. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.